Welcome back to Heal and Grow podcast. I'm Wendy. Thank you for choosing to be here and for giving yourself permission to just breathe. Have you ever noticed how quickly we become our own worst enemy? You miss a deadline, you forget a small detail, or maybe you just feel off one morning. And immediately that voice inside starts whispering, "You're not working hard enough. You're falling behind. Why can't you just get it together?" We live in a world that tells us to do more and be more. So we start to believe that if we are hard on ourselves, we will stay motivated. But the truth is, you cannot punish yourself into a life you love. This habit of self-blame is like trying to drive a car with the handbrake on. It drains your energy, kills your creativity, and slowly burns you out. In today's episode, we are not just talking about a nice idea. We are talking about a survival skill for the modern world, finding stillness. Why is this so important? Because when you are stuck in self-blame, you are in survival mode. Your brain cannot solve problems clearly. It can only feel fear, pressure, and danger. But when you learn to find stillness first, you help your brain return to growth mode. It is the difference between reacting to your life and actually leading your life. Today, I will show you how to build a quiet space inside yourself that no bad day can break. We will explore 3 simple daily shifts to calm your mind, soothe your emotions, and protect your energy. Because when you learn to be still, you do not just work better, you live better. So take a deep breath. For the next few minutes, the world can wait. Together, we will learn how to stop the blame and start the healing. Let's begin. Have you ever felt like your mind is too noisy? When your mind is full, every small problem feels like a big mountain. A simple mistake can make you feel like you are failing at life. But here is the truth. You are not the problem. Your mind is just too full. Imagine a glass of water with sand inside. If you shake the glass, the water becomes cloudy and you cannot see through it. Is the water dirty? No, it is just moving too much. Your mind is the same. When you have too many worries, you cannot see yourself clearly. You start to believe your negative thoughts. Think about a computer. When too many apps are open, it becomes slow. You don't say the computer is broken. You know it just needs to rest. Your mind also needs to close the apps and rest. This is why stillness is so important. Stillness is the small space between what happens and what you believe. Without stillness, "I am tired" becomes "I am a failure." But with one deep breath, "I am tired" just stays as "I am tired, and I need a rest." Stillness does not fix everything in 1 minute, but it stops you from hurting yourself. It lets the sand settle so the water can become clear again. You don't need to be a different person to feel okay. You just need to give yourself space to breathe. Before you try to fix your life, try to find your stillness. Because in the quiet, you will see the truth. You are doing much better than you think. Sometimes we think being hard on ourselves is motivation. It pushes you to wake up early, work harder, and chase your goals. But if you look closely, the energy behind it is very heavy. You are moving fast, not because you love where you are going, but because you hate where you are right now. This kind of motivation can work for a while, but it will slowly burn you out. Why? Because no matter how much you achieve, it never feels like enough. You lose weight, and a voice says, "Not enough." You earn more money, and it says, "Still not enough." Self-hatred doesn't give you a finish line. It only moves the goal further away. The real question is, can you become better without attacking yourself? Can you grow while still being kind to who you are today? My friend, you are not a project that needs to be perfect. You are a human being. Think about a plant. If you give it poison instead of water, it cannot grow. You are the same. You cannot grow well in an environment of shame. You need a foundation of care. Real self-care is not just about a warm bath or a day off. It is much deeper. It is about how you talk to your mind, how you handle your emotions, and the rhythm of your daily life. When you ignore these three parts, you become your own worst judge. You see yourself as a problem to be fixed. But when you care for your mind, your emotions, and your rhythm, everything changes. You stop seeing a problem, and you start seeing a person who needs support. So let's begin with the first part, your mind. Your mind is not always quiet. Sometimes it becomes the loudest place in your life. You make one small mistake and suddenly your mind starts talking. Why did you do that? You should know better. You are falling behind. Maybe you are not good enough. And before you even understand what happened, one small moment becomes a whole story about who you are. But my friend, this is where we need to pause, because your mind does not only describe your life. Sometimes it creates the meaning of your life. The same mistake can become a lesson, or it can become a weapon you use against yourself. The same difficult day can become a sign that you need rest, or it can become a painful story that says, I am weak. That is why taking care of your mind matters so much. It does not mean forcing yourself to be positive. It does not mean smiling when your heart feels heavy. It does not mean saying, everything is fine, when deep inside you know it is not fine. That is not healing. That is pretending. Taking care of your mind means learning to think more fairly. A harsh mind says, I failed, so I am a failure. A fair mind says, I made a mistake, and I can learn from this. A harsh mind says, I feel tired, so I must be lazy. A fair mind says, I feel tired, so maybe I need to care for my body. A harsh mind says, I am not where I should be. A fair mind says, I am still growing, and one small step is still a step. Can you feel the difference? One voice makes you smaller. The other voice gives you space to breathe. And this matters because the way you speak to yourself becomes the emotional home you live in. If your mind is always judging you, you will never feel safe inside yourself. Even when life is quiet, your inner world will still feel like a battlefield. But when your mind becomes a little kinder, a little clearer, and a little more honest, something soft begins to return. You do not need to run from yourself anymore. You can stand beside yourself. So maybe stillness does not begin when all your thoughts disappear. Maybe stillness begins when you stop believing every harsh thought as if it is the truth. When you are tired, your mind may tell darker stories. When your heart is heavy, your mind may become less fair. So pause before you believe it. Pause before you turn one mistake into your identity. Pause before you call yourself lazy, broken, behind, or not enough. Ask yourself gently, is this thought helping me understand myself, or is it only hurting me? Because not every thought deserves your trust. Some thoughts are wisdom. Some thoughts are fear. Some thoughts are just noise. And stillness helps you hear the difference. After the mind, we come to the emotions. When your emotions are strong, your thoughts can become very harsh. A small mistake feels like a big failure. A simple problem feels like your whole life is falling apart. But this is not the truth. This is only your emotions speaking very loudly. When you are tired, sad, or afraid, your mind only shows you the painful part of the story. This is why the first step is not to fix everything. The first step is to calm your emotional storm. You don't need to force yourself to be happy. You don't need to smile when your heart is heavy. Sometimes peace simply means allowing yourself to feel what you feel. Many of us fall into a trap called toxic positivity. We believe we must feel excited and full of energy every single day. But real life isn't like that. Some mornings you wake up feeling heavy or slow. My friend, one heavy feeling does not make you a bad person. A cloudy morning doesn't mean the sky is broken. Our emotions are like the weather. Some days are sunny, and some days have heavy rain. The rain is not a mistake. It is just part of nature. Your feelings are the same. You don't need to fight them. The kindest thing you can say is, I feel this right now, and that is okay. The biggest mistake we make is trying to control our feelings too much. When we are sad, we feel guilty about being sad. When we are anxious, we become more anxious because we think something is wrong with us. Now one emotion becomes two. We feel exhausted because we are fighting ourselves. It is like trying to stop an ocean wave with your hands. The wave still comes, and you only get more tired. What if you stop fighting the wave? What if you let it come and let it pass? Instead of judging your feeling, try to name it. Are you disappointed? Scared? Tired? Lonely? When you name a feeling, it becomes less scary. It is no longer a big dark cloud. It is something you can understand. You can see that fear comes from needing safety, or tiredness comes from carrying too much for too long. Remember, you are not your emotion. You are the person listening to it. Responsibility says, I can learn from this. Self-blame says, I am the problem. Responsibility helps you grow, but self-blame only makes you feel smaller. So before you judge yourself, let your heart breathe. Peace doesn't mean you never feel sad. Peace means you stay gentle with yourself when sadness comes. If you feel something heavy today, do not rush to fix it. Just pause and remember, this is only a feeling. It is not your whole life. You are not weak or broken. You are a human being having a hard moment, and every hard moment deserves kindness, not punishment. After you calm your emotions, the next step is to look at your rhythm. Sometimes we blame ourselves for being weak, but maybe the real problem is not who we are. Maybe the real problem is the speed of our life. Do you ever feel like you are always late, even when no one is chasing you? Many of us wake up and check our phones before we even know how we feel. We rush to work. We rush to eat. We rush to finish one task, just to jump into the next one. And even when the day is over, our bodies sit down, but our minds are still running. When your life has no pause, your mind has no space to breathe. It cannot tell the difference between a small problem and a real crisis. Everything feels urgent. Everything feels heavy. Everything feels personal. And this is when self-blame becomes so easy. A slow morning feels like laziness. A tired afternoon feels like weakness. A small mistake feels like proof that you are not good enough. But my friend, these thoughts are not always the truth. Sometimes they are just the sound of a tired heart. Think of your mind like a computer with too many tabs open. One tab is for work. One tab is for family. One tab is for money. One tab is for the future. And one tab is still replaying an old mistake from yesterday. After a while, the computer becomes slow. Not because it is broken, but because it is overloaded. You are the same. When you rush all day, your body starts to feel like everything is an emergency. You lose your patience more easily. You judge yourself more quickly, and you forgive yourself more slowly. That is why slowing down does not mean being lazy. It means you stop treating yourself like a machine. It means you remember that you are a human being. A slower rhythm gives your body time to feel safe again. And when your body feels safe, your mind does not need to attack you so quickly. Maybe you can start with one small pause. In the morning, before you touch your phone, take one slow breath. Put your hand on your heart and gently ask yourself, how am I feeling today? Remind yourself, I am a person before I am a worker. I am a human being before I am a list of tasks. Or after work, give yourself 5 quiet minutes. Drink some water. Stretch your shoulders. Let your mind understand that the work is over. Without this space, the stress from work may follow you home like a shadow. You do not need to be perfect to deserve rest. You do not need to finish everything before you are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to slow down before you break down. Self-blame grows in a rushed life, but kindness grows in the space you create. So today, hold your rhythm gently. Peace is not only something you find in a quiet room, it is something you build into your day, one small pause at a time. Now let's see how your mind, your emotions, and your rhythm work together. They are like a team. When one is tired, the others suffer too. If you wake up tired, your mind may become more critical. When your mind is harsh, your emotions feel heavier. And when your emotions are heavy, your whole day can feel harder to move through. It becomes a painful loop. But here's the beautiful truth. You can start a new loop. When you speak to yourself with kindness, your heart feels safer. When your heart feels safe, your day becomes calmer. And when your day becomes calmer, your mind becomes clearer. Little by little, you are building a new relationship with yourself. Not based on pressure, not based on fear, but based on care. You don't have to hate yourself to become better. Think about it. Do you use discipline as a weapon to hurt yourself, or as a gift to support yourself? Real growth is not about fixing a broken person. It is about supporting a human being. So, the next time you feel that heavy urge to blame yourself, I want you to pause and check 3 things. First, look at your mind. Ask yourself, is the story I'm telling myself actually fair right now? We often say things to ourselves that we would never say to a friend. So remember, your thoughts are just stories. They are not always the truth. Next, check in with your emotions. What are you actually feeling under all that self-blame? Don't try to fix it right away. Just give it a name. Is it sadness, tiredness, fear, or maybe loneliness? When you name a feeling, it loses some of its power over you. It becomes something you can hold, instead of something that is attacking you. And finally, look at your rhythm. Ask yourself, have I been treating myself like a human being today, or like a machine? Did you give yourself a moment to breathe? Did you drink enough water? Did you have even one quiet minute just for yourself? This practice is not about being perfect. It is about being curious. By checking these 3 things, you stop the blame and start the understanding. Small care is still care. A glass of water, 1 deep breath, or 1 kind sentence to yourself. These are all beginnings. My friend, you are never a problem to be fixed. You are a person who needs more patience, more safety, and more care. A better version of you does not begin with the thought, I am not enough. It begins with this quiet truth. I am already worthy of care, and because of that, I choose to grow. So before you call yourself lazy, ask if you are tired. Before you call yourself weak, ask if you have been carrying too much. Before you blame yourself for not doing better, ask if you have been giving yourself what you need to begin again. You don't have to fight yourself to grow. You can grow from stillness. You can grow from love. You can grow from a place inside you that finally feels safe. Take a slow breath. Take care of your mind, your heart, and your days. And little by little, you will find your way home. Thank you for being with me today. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.